Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 32 of lump, TCM, and acupuncture basics. Let's start with the first topic, Yuan-Source point. The Yuan point has many more functions besides those that we have discussed earlier. It is the most powerful and binding point of a meridian and connects with many other meridians of the body. So, example, we have an example here in which stomach 42 is given a lot of attention, which is the Yuan-Source point of the stomach. So when stomach 42 is given without a needle technique or when tonified, it will pull the energy from all possible sources, as indicated above, no? As you can see in the diagram. It cannot choose or single out one of these sources. So if we should decide that the energy should come from the small intestine, the mother, then we must send energy from small intestine to stomach. So treatment, stomach 42, Yuan-Source point, sedate SI8, which is the earth point. But if the pericardium was to send this energy, then the pericardium must be sedated on a suitable point in order to send energy to the stomach. So, treatment, stomach 42, Yuan-Source point, and you sedate the pericardium 8 fire point. Okay, so here you would see how pericardium will donate the energy to the small to the stomach. Okay, so you have to sedate the pericardium. If you sedate the Yuan-Source point, it will send energy in all possible directions, like the one shown on the diagram. So it will send energy to the sun, which is the large intestine. Okay, it will also send to its coupled organ, the spleen. It will also send energy to the kidney, which is the controlled organ. It will also send energy to the pericardium, which is the opposite side on the organ clock. Okay, so remember that the time at which the stomach energy is quite high is 7 to 9 a.m. On the opposite side, 7 to 9 p.m., it would be the pericardium. It cannot decide which organ in particular should receive this energy. So when you sedate the Yuan-Source point, the direction could be guided by tonifying that organ which you think should be receiving the energy. So again, sedate stomach 42, then you tonify whatever organ you want to receive that energy. Okay? Example, sedation. Stomach 42, Yuan-Source point, and tonification. Li11, earth point, to send energy. So we have to do sedation of Li11 to send energy to the large, you sedate, then you needle Li11 so that it can, so that stomach 42 can send energy to the large intestine, which is the sun organ. Okay, if you want the stomach 42, the stomach to send energy to the spleen, which is the coupled organ, we use spleen 4, which is lower connecting point. Okay, if you wish the stomach to send energy to the controlled organ, the kidney, then you have to needle kidney 3. Okay, and then if you want to send the energy to the pericardium, the organ on the opposite side of the organ clock, okay, you sedate stomach 42, then you needle pericardium 8. A Yuan-Source point can also be used without another point combined with it and without tonification or sedation technique when one is undecided about the energy status of an organ. So some of the popular distal points and symptomatic points are Yuan-Source points. Example, liver 3, heart 7, LI 4, kidney 3. By itself, the point can decide somewhat whether it should open or close, if it should attract or repel energy. Tonification of lung 8 would tonify lung yin and sedate urinary bladder yang. Okay? Sedation of point lung 8 would sedate lung yin and tonify urinary bladder yang. Thank you very much for your attention. Up next is Ma'am Teresita Sumile for her presentation. She will talk about symptomatic points. Good afternoon, Ma'am Teresita.
Good afternoon po, Dr. Hector. Good afternoon, everyone. Symptomatic points. These are some valuable prescriptive points that have been handed down through the experience in acupuncture over thousands of years. Some of them are local points, and some are energy balancing points that have been proved to work in certain symptoms, so that it is now not necessary to analyze them each time, but simply to use them to treat these symptoms. These points may vary from school to school, depending on experience, but it is important that they are effective. Just add 1 or 2 per treatment as necessary. So we have here symptomatic points recommended. For tranquilizing points, use Do20, Extra 6, P6, R7, UB62, Goodnight 1 and 2, and Extra 8 and 9. For anxiety or tachycardia, use Pericardium 6, Ren 14. For cough and asthma, Pericardium 6, Ren 22, Extra 17, for calming asthma. Then for nausea and vomiting, use Pericardium 6, Ren 12, and Stomach 36. For abdominal distension, use Stomach 25 and Stomach 36. For diarrhea, use Stomach 25 and Stomach 37. For constipation, use Stomach 25, Li 14, and Triple Warmer 6. For edema, excessive mucus, use Stomach 40 and Spleen 9. For allergy or pruritus, use Spleen 10 and UB 17. Then for dysmenorrhea, use Spleen 6 and Spleen 8. For excessive sweating, use lung 7 and kidney 7. Headache, use GB20 and GB21. For tinnitus, dizziness, use GB20, GB8. For immune-enhancing points, use LI11, Do14, and Spleen 6. Revival points, use Do26 and Kidney 1. General excitation point is Kidney 6, then blood pressure, LI10, and liver 3. Nervousness, tension, use liver 3 and lung 1. Anti-snoring point, use REN 24. And to improve energy, use REN 6, lung 9, kidney 3, UD 24, and stomach 36. Yun lang po. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, so we would advise everyone to take a screenshot of what has been lectured. They are indeed very, very helpful. They are called the symptomatic points. Thank you very much, Ma'am Teresita. We now proceed to the next topic. Let's listen to Ma'am Needs you, certified acupuncturist from Silang, Cavite, for the needling techniques. Good afternoon, Ma'am Needs.
Good afternoon, Doc Hector. Good afternoon, everyone. So, dito pa rin tayo sa lump basics. Needling technique, day 7 tayo. Okay. Other balancing techniques. Okay, kanina, the other day, yung split 6 pa rin. Ito, the split 6 descending technique balance the upper, middle, and lower warmers. Similarly, there is a needle technique that balances the muscle tension on the left and right sides of the body. This can be used to treat hemiplegia, facial paralysis, or unilateral neck tension with or without headache. Okay? Sabi dito, one symptom that occurs in tandem with a difference in muscle tensions on either side is a deviated tongue. It may present in a person who has no symptoms of muscle tension or when there are unilateral muscle tension problems or paralysis with either spasticity or laxity on one side of the body, mga na-stroke. It is quite understandable that the increased muscle tension on one side pushes the tongue to the other side. This symptom will improve or completely disappear after one treatment. However, the treatment must be consolidated by repeating it 4 to 8 times or about 2 sessions per week. If there is no change after 2 sessions, then it is unlikely to cause an effect and one need not continue with the treatment. Bago naman ang gagawing technique, okay? So, since muscle tension is related to liver yang, we need to compare the liver yang on both sides of the body. This could be done simply by measuring the resistance to heat on point liver 1 on both feet sa may paa. Just like a moxa cigar, so the entire head is glowing, hindi naman masyadong buo, not partially, and perform a sparrow pecking movement at 1.5 centimeters away from the point while counting the pecks silently to yourself. Okay? The patient should tell you the exact moment the heat becomes uncomfortable. So, sasabihin niya kung ouch na, okay? Repeat on the other foot, and at the end of it, you should have a reading. Sa left liver 1, 14 pecks. Sa right liver 1, over 40 pecks, okay? Obviously, left liver meridians has more yang than the right liver meridian. Now, we should send the liver yang from the left to the right side. Under normal circumstances, we sedate liver yang indirectly through sedation of gallbladder yang, and we tonify liver yang indirectly through tonification of gallbladder yang. Remember po, we should do the same in this case too, except that our choice of points is different this time. Instead of using the sedation and tonification points of the gallbladder, we will be using the Yuan-Source and the low connecting points, both of the gallbladder. Okay? So here may tower diagram tayo sa left and right. Sa left is liver yang excess, mataas yung yang. And then sa right is liver yang deficiency. So sa left, sedate natin yung gallbladder yang and sedate gallbladder 40, the Yuan-Source point. Yan. At sa liver yang deficiency naman, ito tonify yung gallbladder yang at ito tonify yung gallbladder 37 or the low connecting point. So yung dalawang needles ay kailangan naka-retain ng 30 minutes while vibrating the Yuan-Source points only every 10 minutes. Okay? Yan po yung process technique. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you learn.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Needs. That was very helpful. Okay, so next we have Ma'am Teresita Sumile for the earth element. Sorry. This is my topic. Okay. The associated flavor for the earth element is sweet. When we eat sweets or chocolate, we are instantly charged with energy. Sweet food will also make us thirsty. So they increase the yang instantly. Craving for sweet things and floury foods is actually a symptom of yang deficiency of spleen and stomach. Those who have excess yang in earth tend to dislike sweet flavors. But there is a difference in what happens following the consumption of sweet food of different natures. If we eat refined sweets and carbohydrates whenever we crave for sweetness, this is very quickly absorbed into the system, thus making the yang rise too soon, too high. So this is what they call the glycemic index, no? So Western. Stomach is a bright yang organ, which means that already the yang is very high in the stomach. So if the stomach yang increase fast, it would actually intertransform into yin. Then, pag nag-transform siya into yin, you crave for more sweetness and can gain weight from eating all these sweets and starches. Ganun pala yun, okay? So, if you crave sweet foods, that means your stomach yang and qi are decreased. After eating, refined sweets and carbohydrates are absorbed too quickly, so this will raise the yang. When yang reaches the point of extreme, it intertransforms into yin. The patient has more yin and the yang is as low as before. Therefore, more craving for sweet things. The solution is to eat natural sweets like fruits, honey, and whole grains like wholemeal bread, pasta, rice with husk. Dapat may husk. These foods will take much longer to digest and absorb, and the yang will increase slowly and never to the point of extreme. So treatment against craving for sweet food. So this is very important. Yung Moxa, spleen 1, and Ren 12. Hindi po nininiddle si spleen 1 kasi napakasakit. Okay, so we do only Moxa for spleen 1 and Ren 12. Then we needle Ren stomach 36, UB 20, or 21. The associated emotion for the earth element is worry. Worry is a normal, healthy emotion as long as it does not occupy one's mind all the time. Lahat na lang inisip mo na the whole day. It is useful to ask the patient what he means when they say they are worried. Some patients actually mean that they are afraid or anxious. Others naman are sad, no? The worry that we're talking about is thinking a lot, ruminating, going over and over in one's mind about something kahit wala ka na magawa, no? Or caring for someone and protecting others. We are talking about someone who worries most of the time or all the time. According to TCM, this worry is associated with the stomach. These people worry with their stomach and it affects their eating habits. Usually, mas dumadami yung kain. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Okay, I will still handle the 5th topic, which is about treatment and disease prevention principles. Okay, let's talk about the cause of sickness. The TCM concept is that people get sick because there is a blockage in the flow of qi and blood, and there is a loss of balance of the yin and yang. So what are the ways to correct the imbalances in the qi? You have acupuncture, you can have herbal medicine, massage, diets, tai chi, or qigong. TCM focuses on the holistic view, no? Coexistence, not destroy. So let's compare the East and West. So the response to nature of human sa East, the relationship of body and spirit, balance of the yin and yang, and using natural ways for treatment. So as much as possible, ang gagamitin natin natural method. So West naman, there's lifestyle, health food, body, spirit, mind growth, and sustainability, environmental protection. So all these two must be present, okay? Let's talk about follow the nature. People live between heaven and earth. They are impacted by cosmic movement like season change, environment movement, and living conditions, just like what is happening now, no? Day and night, temperature and humidity changes, they have an impact on the human body. Yung biglang change ng temperature, ng humidity. Okay? Number 2, we nourish the body and spirit. The TCM regimen encourages that people should learn to nourish both the body and the spirit. What do we mean by nourishing the body? We keep our blood and chi, the organs, limbs, okay, healthy. Body is the carrier of the spirit. One must have good physical fitness, then mental health. Okay, then we use natural ways for treatment, like acupuncture. We drink tea from leaves, no? Okay. And also Moxibustion. Then we have the supplements. No? Number 4, health preservation and prolonging ways. Disease prevention, health preservation. Chinese people have tried to keep health and prevent disease and research the way or do exercises para ma-prolong yung life natin for thousands. They have been studying that for thousands of years. So they have gained abundant experiences in the practice in China. During the long history, health preservation is the soul of Chinese treasure culture. Okay? Thank you very much for listening. We now proceed to the next topic. Let's listen to Mom Needs You, certified acupuncturist from Silang, Cavite. She will talk about heart relationships. Good afternoon ulit, Mom Needs. Hello, Mom Needs. Hello. Ma'am Nitz, you're muted. Nakamute po kayo. Please unmute po your microphone.
Relationships po. Ay, good afternoon, everyone. Topic for today is heart relationships. Okay? Heart and small intestine. Heart stands in interior and exterior relationships with the small intestine. Relationship between heart and small intestine can also be transferred to the mental level. Okay? Heart houses the spirit, so small intestine divides pure from impure and helps the spirit in its discernment of important and unimportant. Nasisegregate niya. Okay? Heart fire on the physical level can move downward and affect the small intestine. Okay? Heart and the gallbladder. Heart houses the spirit. Gallbladder governs decision and provides the spirit with courage. Okay? Heart and lungs. Heart governs the blood. Lungs governs the chi. Heart blood nourishes the lungs. Okay? Lung chi warms the heart and supports it in the production and circulation of the blood. Relationship between heart and lungs corresponds to relationship between chi and blood. Okay? Magkaano sila? Kapareho lang. Disturbance of the heart can result in a disturbance of the lungs and vice versa. Naapektuhan sila pareho. Okay? Heart and liver pa rin. Naman. Heart governs the blood. Liver stores the blood and regulates its volume in accordance with physiological needs. Okay? Liver regulates the volume of blood. Heart moves blood. Okay? Liver blood deficiency can be accompanied by heart blood deficiency. Pareho kasama. Hyperactive liver yang or liver fire can affect blood and therefore heart gene, which can lead to heart fire. Okay. Liver and heart are organs most affected by and susceptible to emotional disturbances. Okay. Let's go to heart and spleen. Spleen produces food chi, which is the basis of chi and blood production. Heart governs the blood and requires chi for this function. Weak production of food chi can weaken blood and chi of the heart. Okay. Heart to kidney. Kidneys and heart represent yin and yang. Heart is located in the upper burner. Kidneys are located in the lower burner. Okay. Physiologically, heart connects with lower burner through kidneys. Kidneys connect with upper burner through the heart. The two organs are interdependent and counterbalance each other. Okay? Kidneys send water or the yin to the heart to cool heart fire or yang. Heart sends fire or yang to kidneys to warm the kidneys water, which is yin. Okay? Kidney yin is very important for yin in the entire body. The heart requires kidney yin in order to house the spirit. So, magkaroon. Okay. Because kidneys have more yin and little yang, and heart has more yang and little yin, the interaction of heart and kidney is important to root the spirit. Okay? So, study na lang po natin yung drawing. Thank you very much for your attention, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Needs. We now go to meridian theory, and let's listen to Ma'am Teresita Sumile. Good afternoon ulit, Ma'am Teresita.
Good afternoon, Doc. Good afternoon, everyone. Kidney meridian of foot lesser yin. Now let's go to kidney 4, the highest prominence of the medial malleolus. Location, anterior to the medial border of the Achilles tendon, superior to its insertion at the calcaneus. The point is between kidney 3 and kidney 5, more posterior and forming a triangle with these points. Point explanation. Use these loop connecting points very often in cases with kidney deficiency with general dryness and heat symptoms ascending to the upper warmer. When there is hot flashes, mental restlessness and sleep problems, hypertension, tachycardia, and others. Use spleen 6 to descend the heat and balance it out with point kidney 4. It works excellently as long as the location is next is kidney 6. Location, approximately 1 tune inferior to the highest prominence of the medial malleolus. Over the point's joint space between the talus and the calcaneus. Point explanation. The author finally called this as the wake-up point. The confluent point of the yin motility channel. This has the opposite use to point UB62, which is on the lateral ankle. The yin motility channel is used to shift the general yin energy of the body into yang, therefore making the person more warm, energetic, more awake, and alert. Next is kidney 7. Location, 2 tune proximal to kidney 3, between the tibia and Achilles tendon. Point explanation. The tonification point of the metal point of the meridian. This tonifies more yin and less yang. As people in Western countries drink little water and live and work in air-conditioned or heated rooms, kidney yin deficiency is a common problem among us. Our bodies tend to suffer from dryness, and therefore it must not be assumed that just by needing kidney 7, we should increase the water in our bodies. This is only secondary to increasing the water consumption. Ideally, this should be throughout the day and in small quantities. Next is kidney 9. Location, 5 June, proximal to the highest prominence of the medial malleolus in a line joining kidney 10 to kidney 3. Point explanation. A common point between kidney meridian and the yin regulating meridian. This is an important point in helping both these meridians hold on to the yin and stop it from leaking outwards. Naturally, this becomes a reason for concern when the yin is already deficient. Therefore, this point will be used in the case of miscarriage or the prevention of it. Spermaturia, excessive thirst with dryness and excessive urination in cold and sweaty feet. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Teresita Sumile. We now come to the last topic for today. We are still on chest painful obstruction for patterns and treatment. We have a case history, 59-year-old woman complaining of a feeling of oppression and pain in the chest. She had experienced this since a heart attack 5 years previously. Her blood pressure was raised, 180/100. She also suffered from pain and swelling of her knees, ankles, and wrists. She was quite overweight. Tongue was very pale and very swollen. Pulse was very deep and weak, especially on both rear positions. So this is the tongue picture of the 59-year-old woman. Okay. So you would see the phlegm and the cold stagnation in the chest. The pain and feeling of oppression in the chest are due to combination of phlegm and cold stagnating in the chest with predominance of phlegm. This woman does not have many symptoms, but the feeling of oppression in the chest, her being overweight, and the very swollen tongue are sufficient for the diagnosis of obstruction by phlegm. This occurs on the background of severe deficiency of yang of the spleen and kidneys. She does not have many symptoms, but the very pale tongue and very deep and weak pulse on both rear positions are definite signs of kidney yang deficiency. We can also deduce spleen yang deficiency from the presence of phlegm. Both these conditions, kidney deficiency and phlegm, are contributory factors to the development of chest painful obstruction syndrome from cold and dampness. This case, like most cases of chest painful obstruction, is characterized by combination of deficiency and excess. Yang deficiency of spleen and kidneys, and combination of phlegm and cold. The correct approach is to deal with excess condition during the acute or subacute stage and with the deficiency afterwards. In this case, because this woman had quite pronounced and distressing feeling of oppression and pain in the chest, attention was paid to treating the excess condition, resolving phlegm and dispelling cold. She was treated with acupuncture only, and for the first 10 weekly sessions, the treatment was aimed at resolving phlegm and removing obstruction from the chest. So acupuncture points: stomach 40, pericardium 6, pericardium 4, REN 17, bladder 14, REN 9, spleen 6, REN 12, and bladder 20. All needled with even method except REN 12, and bladder 20, which were reinforced to tonify the spleen to resolve the phlegm. After these 10 sessions, attention was diverted to tonifying spleen and kidney yang. The main signs to look for before changing the aim of treatment from resolving phlegm to tonifying would be a reduction in the size of her swollen tongue and a marked decrease in the feeling of oppression and pain in the chest. Main points used to tonify spleen and kidney yang were as follows: bladder 20, bladder 23, REN 12, stomach 36, kidney 7, and kidney 3. Reinforcing method and moxa were used. This lady was completely cured after another 10 sessions, although she still comes for treatment every 3 months to prevent any recurrence. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and we hope to see you in our next presentation.